I'll tell you.
Welcome to What's Geek this week. We're going over the coolest in pop culture, tech, and nerdy news. Let's dive in.
All right, so yeah, we have. I had picked out a few stories here. Let me get that pulled up real quick because I have other windows open. Let's see here. We got scrolling.
Scrolling.
Here it is. Okay, so Nathan Fillion, you know, the guy from Castle and Firefly and Rookies.
Of course, my favorite Nathan Fillion thing is Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
I don't know if I've watched an entire episode of that. I think I've seen clips of it, and it was really funny. I think it's probably the only thing that Joss Whedon has done that was his that I think is funny.
It's the only thing that gets, it's the best thing Joss has done, for sure.
So, but yeah, he apparently has based his character attributes off of somebody of course, now that I'm trying to find it here. I had it written out, and of course, I can't fucking read this shit.
It's Ted Knight.
Ted Knight, that's right. Thank you. Ah, man. And I did this on purpose. I had this shit written out on purpose so I could find it and read it. And of course, as soon as I go to read it, I can't seem to find it. I should just leave it to the description that I used to have. Either way, so Ted Knight, who was like the voiceover announcer for the Super Friends. Meanwhile, back at the podcast kind of thing. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing his version of the Green Lantern with the bowl cut.
He looks like such a doofus. It's hilarious.
I mean, he really does. And I really wanted to meet him at Emerald City Comic Con this year because he was here, but the line was down the hallway and out the door, and I didn't want to spend the rest of the day standing in line just to say, hi, I like your show, and not have any money to buy anything. So I just went home. But yeah, no, I think it's awesome that that's the character choices he's making. See here, what is this? See, inspiration from the oldest cast member from the Golden Girls, where she just, whatever she wanted to say, actually doesn't look like it was Ted Knight. It sounds like it's Estelle Getty. Says, thank you, Estelle Getty. Thank you. Just whatever it was, there it is. He's going to say it. Part of his origin was that he, at one point, was hit by a bus and was in a coma. So just say that's the thing that flipped the switch. That's what caused a little bit of brain damage. And now he's just a little bit off, Fillion said. So I don't know where Ted Knight came from, but yeah, according to the article, that's what I get for using AI to write a summary for me. Don't do it, folks, or at least not using Google's AI. But yeah, no, I mean see, the thing is now I'm going to watch the movie and picture him as the little mom of Dorothy. So. That's funny. That's really funny. All right, what else do we got here? The next story is...
I'm so interested where the AI thought this... Because the AI summary straight up says he based aspects of his Superman voice and mannerisms on Ted Knight.
Yeah.
And there's nothing of that mentioned anywhere in the article. Yeah,
so ignore what the summary says and click the article link if you want to know. The next one is about the Harry Potter cast of the TV show. And I'm gonna say this. I don't support anything that the woman who created Harry Potter has ever said or done. J.K. Rowling. I couldn't care even more to think about what her name was. So, but
fair enough.
I mean, these kids are going to forever be associated with her, and there's going to be a lot of hate thrown at them because of it, and it's unfortunate because despite her being a garbage human being and not a nice person in general, the stories themselves are entertaining. I enjoyed the movies when they're in theaters. I don't own any Harry Potter memorabilia, so it's not like I have spent a lot of money on it. The few times I've seen those movies was paid by other people. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I managed to stay away from the whole Harry Potter thing. Or like I had friends in school that were reading the books, and I would be very smug about it. I was just like, I am not a child. I'm not reading this book. Like for me.
And to be honest, I kind of felt the same way initially, and then I reluctantly went and saw one of the movies in theaters with the family, and I was like, oh wow, this is a really cool story. I like it, and I actually really enjoyed all the movies. But it's. I don't know. I'm of the mind of the people who say you can separate the art from the person, because there's other people involved with that art, and you can focus on those things. Especially the movies, because sure, she makes money off the licensing, but she's not the creator of the films. No, yeah. She
in fact, the first one or two is Chris Columbus, right? The guy who did Home Alone and Mrs. Doubtfire. And
it's so I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing at least the first episode, and then I'll kind of go from there. I'm sure I'll watch the entire series, but I'm not. I don't support her or what she has said about the trans community. I don't agree with it at all. But I do like.
No, she can fuck off with those remarks she's made. Over the years,
exactly. Yeah. All right. So.
My wife, on the other hand, is a huge Harry Potter fan, so I'm sure it's going to get shown in this house.
When I went down to Southern California for my 50th birthday, we did go to Universal on one of the days we were there, and I really wanted to ride the rides for Harry Potter, but I was too fluffy for those rides, and they're not meant for large mammals. But I did.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest issues with theme parks is I'm a little too big for them.
Yeah, it's like, it's not like you can put in inserts to make yourself taller when it comes to being,
Get some spanks. Get some of those Mel spanks. Suck it in.
How many clicks on the ride like Fluffy did? When I click
yes,
1 click, 2 click, 3 click. But yeah,
coming to you live from Six Flags, where 2 large Latinos did not make the loop.
Oh man. Anyways, back to the podcast. The next story I have here is Phineas and Ferb cast talk about returning to the series after 10 years. I actually saw a video yesterday of the cast singing some of the songs that they're known for doing on the show, live at Disneyland. And I was like, man, I wish I was there. This would have been so cool. So
this is another show that I've only been reintroduced to as an adult, thanks to my wife, because she loves this show, so she shows it to the kids. So we end up watching it during dinner or breakfast on occasion. I discovered
the show on its last season, so I was really bummed when it ended, and it was like, oh, this is like a. I looked at it. I saw it as like a modern take on like the Our Gang or Little Rascals. Where just hey, what are we gonna do? It's summer vacation. What are we gonna do? And so it was cute, and I thought it was entertaining, and it had little song and dance numbers that were always fun and entertaining and very funny. And
it's a smart show.
It's a very smart show, and one of the things that I really liked about it was like all the guest stars they had on the show were like people you would not assume would make an appearance on a children's show. Like,
yeah, that's always a mark of a good show, is when it's like you've got famous people wanting to be a part of it.
Right. And the characters they play on the show are like in kind of reminiscent of a character they're known for earlier in their career, or something they're really known for, regardless of how long they've been doing it. The thing that like blew my mind was that the dad on Phineas and Ferb is Richard O'Brien.
You'll have to tell me who that name does not ring a bell for me.
Richard O'Brien is the guy who created and starred in the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh.
Yes, Riff Raff.
Oh, see, I've only seen Rocky Horror once.
Yeah, I've only gone and seen it with the cast of people once or twice, but I've watched it a number of times over the years. I usually watch it during Halloween. Is one of those things I do.
It's a good time. Yeah.
So, but this article talks about them coming back after 10 years. And in fact, if you haven't seen it yet, go to the Phineas and Ferb. No, it's not Phineas and Ferb's channel. It's Disney's YouTube channel has the first episode available. You can watch it now, or at least part of it anyway. I mean, maybe not. It may not be the whole episode, but it's all there, I think. But it is coming in August. It's coming back. What is it, August? Fuck. I'm having an ADHD day, guys. I'm sorry. It is coming back.
That's what we're all about here.
Season 5 premieres on Disney Channel on June 5th and on Disney Plus on June 6th, the next day. So it comes back in June. So like next week, or actually in like 3 days.
Yeah, there you go.
So
and something I've always, something not always, but something that has occurred to me as I've gone back now and I'm watching Phineas and Ferb as an adult, I'm realizing that Rick and Morty is like Phineas and Ferb for adults. Like that really has a similar vibe to me.
If you were to take Phineas and Ferb and kind of mix in a little bit of like Back to the Future and Beavis and Butthead, then yeah. No, I actually like those shows too. All right. The King of the Hill revival, as we've already mentioned, and lost another cast member. Yeah. But on top
devastating news about that, yeah.
That's coming back. It's going to be on Hulu. And let's see here. It is going to be on August 4th. So a couple more months, right?
And I'm assuming that John Redcorn, who, Jonathan Joss was the voice of, probably already recorded some parts, so I'm hoping we get to see that character again.
I think, yes, he comes back as John Redcorn, and I think he's in multiple episodes. I don't know if he's in the entire season, but he is the only person voicing that character in this season. If they get another season, they'll probably have to find somebody else to replace him, or they will...
they'll do something with the character to honor him.
His character will go to a farm upstate on the show. Sorry, folks. That was a terrible joke, but it's kind of how I deal with
we're in mourning over this, where we give us a little space.
I make terrible jokes, and it's not indicative of how I feel.
To hide the tears.
Exactly. But I saw there's a clip on the internet of like a trailer of just clips of the show of this next season, and it's not a reboot, folks. It is a revival. It's a continuation of the original series. So the characters actors who have passed away are going to be talked about, but you will not see them. You will not hear them, and that's the only thing I know about those characters. Like Luann and her boyfriend or husband or whatever his name was, I can't remember. But the actors that played them have both passed since the show went off air. And
I'm looking forward to this revival because I was, for whatever reason, I wasn't a King of the Hill fan when it was on.
Oh, I was.
Maybe I was just too young. I wanted something more like The Simpsons.
Right.
And King of the Hill wasn't that for me. But as I've gotten older, once I got into my 30s, especially now that I'm married and have 2 kids, I catch an old episode and I appreciate it so much more.
You mean to tell me you've never been like, that's my purse, I don't know you?
Nope, I don't know. I don't know the reference.
So
the only things I know are like, God damn it, Bobby.
God damn it, Bobby.
And propane accessories.
I like propane and propane accessories.
You do that way better.
I'm a massive Mike Judge fan, and I mimic a lot of his characters. But Bobby apparently has become a chef, and he does Japanese food, and it's specifically Japanese food that is cooked on an open flame using charcoal.
Oh no.
So
no.
Hank is going to have a massive problem with this. That's the one thing. That's the only thing really that I know about the show going forward. And they did say that the actor who played Dale Gribble, he recorded I think 3 episodes before he passed away, and the actor Toby Huss will take over the voice of Dale beyond those episodes that Mr. Hardwick had recorded. And I'm trying to remember his first name. It doesn't say his name at all in this article.
You're not talking about Chris Hardwick, are you?
No, different Hardwick entirely. Let's see here. Continue without, and I don't really care. Stop with the pop-ups. No, yeah, it's even spelled differently. Johnny Hardwick is the guy's name. It says the cast of the series includes Mike Judge, Kathy and Jimmy, Pam Adlon, and the late Johnny Hardwick, Stephen Root, Lauren Tom, and Toby Huss. And I think Toby is the one who plays Khan Senior.
Okay.
And it comes out in August 4th. And all 10 episodes all at once, so you won't have to wait weekly to watch the entire next season of King of the Hill. I was a massive fan of the show because it was from the creator of Beavis and Butthead, and I loved Beavis and Butthead. And I
was not allowed to watch Beavis and Butthead. And by the time I got old enough where I could have watched wherever I want, Beavis and Butthead was over. Like the first Beavis and Butthead thing I really saw was the movie, Do America.
Oh yeah, the sleigh scissors sluts in Vegas. I love that.
I remember the soundtrack to that was killer.
Oh, I have that sound. I bought that soundtrack on CD and on MP3 at some point. So yeah, So 13 episodes. King of the Hill originally ran for 13 seasons and over 250 episodes.
It's more than 13 episodes.
13 seasons and over 250 episodes on Fox from 97 to 2009. There have been discussions about reviving the show at Fox all the way back to 2017, but that was prior to 21st Century Fox and Disney's merger, in which Disney acquired 20th Century Television and many other assets, but not the broadcast network. The show marked the first collaboration between Mike Judge and Daniels, but the two reunited recently to from Bandera reviving King of the Hill. I don't know what any of that means. It doesn't make those words don't mean anything to me. I don't know what that reunited.
Me no words together understand.
Words are hard. And was among the top priorities for the company, while they have also set up projects from various outlets. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. It's sad to think that some of the characters are not going to be there because the actors who played them are no longer with us, but I'm glad they decided to say, so-and-so went to college, or so-and-so, they're living in another city and this is what they're doing. I would much rather them do that than try to
recast it,
because sometimes recasting works and other times it doesn't, and more often than not, at least in recent years that I've noticed, the character voices are similar, but not enough for me to believe that it's the same person. You know what I mean?
It was like Dr. Hubbard on The Simpsons is a completely different voice now.
I mean, Dr. Hubbard is Kevin Michael Richardson. So, and I don't know. To me, it sounded the same, but I don't know. I met Kevin. He's a really cool guy. He's done so many other voices. But he's best known for being the white neighbor on the Cleveland show, the redneck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is funny in itself. But where was I going with that? And I just lost my train of thought. Shit.
Now who's derailing who?
You know what? Let's go into the next story because I completely forgot what I was saying. And lost that train of thought. Boom, there goes the train. Mark Hamill reveals why he won't return to Star Wars. 10. Okay, let's see what it says here. Because I don't trust the AI summary now. Okay, Rey's journey, played by Daisy Ridley, in the Star Wars galaxy is set to continue with the upcoming movie New Jedi Order, but fans shouldn't expect to see her mentor Luke Skywalker, played by Mark Hamill. In an interview with comicbook.com to promote his new movie, The Life of Chuck, which opens in select theaters June 6th and nationwide June 13th, Hamill was asked if he would return as Luke's Force Ghost in New Jedi Order. Though the actor is forever grateful he played such a meaningful role in the Star Wars franchise, he believes it is time for Lucasfilm to move past the legacy characters and focus entirely on the younger generation. What do you think of that, Doug?
I mean, I don't like the way they used Luke in the sequel trilogy. Yeah. I thought it was a disservice to his original story arc. I thought they made him act. I'm a total Last Jedi hater. I hated the way they did that. Just subversion, just for the sake of subversion, is not anything to applaud in my book. I just liked it to the point where I didn't even watch The Rise of Skywalker.
Honestly, I will say this. Knowing how much most people dislike The Last Jedi, a lot of people felt that way. I, however, really love the Rise of Skywalker for a lot of reasons, but the main reason is I think it really shows Leia more than we have in previous movies, even though she was barely in it because she passed, like, I don't know if it was midway through.
She passed before The Last Jedi ended, I thought.
Yeah. So they used a lot of footage that wasn't used in The Last Jedi for The Rise of Skywalker. Now, the reason why I really like this movie is because I believe, and I this is my headcanon, as they say, that the fight at the end of the movie, not to give any spoilers, folks, but I'm going to talk about it, so be sure to forget before you watch the movie. I believe that when Leia, the character, passes, and she disappears like every other Force-wielding person does, that Ben also disappears at the same time, that what we thought was Ben was actually her helping Rey in her last in the final battle of the movie. And once I realized that, I had to go back and rewatch the entire movie, because it's like, okay, when did this become a thing? When did he become his mom and his mom become him? And so it's
an interesting theory.
Yeah, and if you watch, and I recommend you actually watch it at least once. That way you can say I've seen it and I either like it or I don't like it. I actually think it's in my top 3 as far as Star Wars movies goes. This will absolutely bump Empire and Jedi if I have to pick anything else. So, you're saying Rise of Skywalker bumps Empire and Jedi for you? Yes, it does. Wow, I really liked it. I really liked it. And you're not just a casual. You are, like, Star Wars is your. That's my primary fandom. Thing. Yeah. It's like that's a big statement. It's the thing that turned the nerd switch on me. So it's what made me like an uber nerd. I had all the toys growing up. I loved everything that came out that was Star Wars. Even the prequels initially, I liked them, but as I heard people's complaints about them, I can see that. I understand it. I still am entertained by them, but they're not my favorite. So, but yeah, I think that, I as much as I would love to have seen the original 3 together again, fighting the Empire, we didn't get that in those movies. As much as I wanted to see Luke, Leia, and Han and Chewbacca all together in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. Sorry. We didn't get that. We got 2 of the 4. in the cockpit, which in itself was cool. And that's part of the reason why I'm getting choked up, because that scene where they get on the Millennium Falcon for the first time in decades is like, we're home. And I lost it. The people I was with are like, are you okay? I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize how much I missed seeing these people on the deck of that ship until this happened. And it was, and a lot of people shat on the Force Awakens. It's just a recycled version of A New Hope. I was like, okay, that's probably why I like it, because it reminds me of the original movie. And I'll never call that movie A New Hope, ever. It will always be Star Wars.
I like The Force Awakens. I was excited after that's part of the reason I hated The Last Jedi so much, is after The Force Awakens, I was like, okay, cool. This is Star Wars again, more so than the prequels. This really feels like Star Wars again, even though it kind of felt like Star Wars The Ride. Like it was just kind of like a tour of the Star Wars mythos.
Right.
I was still excited for what it was setting up. And I got into, it's one of the things that really got me into like doing the YouTube breakdown and theory videos. Like I was into all the different theories, excuse me, that people had for The Last Jedi. And like, I was like, oh, which way is it going to go? Who's right? Who's not right? Who is on the right track? What are they going to do with this? And then Rian Johnson was going to be directing it. And I'm like, oh, he's freaking an awesome director. He did some of the best episodes of Breaking Bad. My hopes got so high for The Last Jedi.
And then
it looked great. It looked amazing. And then they decided to just like make a really awesome thing and then just destroy it.
Yeah.
What's the most shocking thing we can do? Oh, let's destroy it. Let's subvert everything for subversion's sake. I went with a group of friends, and like 20 to 30, like at some point during the first act of the movie, I turned to my row and I was like, is this the parody version? Like, did we accidentally get the parody version of this movie? Like, this can't be the real movie.
Right. I didn't really care for that one. I mean, it was still Star Wars to me because they had key characters in it. But it felt like, you know what, because people shat on the last one, we're going to change things up a bit. And I was like, no, no. You shouldn't have done that.
And I liked the new characters. I liked Rey. I liked
Finn.
What's John Boyega's character? It's a FN197 or something
Finn.
like that. Finn. Yeah, I like Finn. I like those characters, and then they don't really do anything with Finn. They just he becomes the B plot and like throwaway.
He becomes Butters from South Park.
Yeah, that's so true.
He's there and he says his catchphrases once in a while, and he shows up when the battle is happening, but then quickly disappears when other things are going on. I was excited to see where his character went because I liked his character. He was like I was forced into this shit. I don't want anything to do with it, and I'm going to join you guys because you guys seem like you're sane. That's kind of how I saw his character, and the way he was dealing with everybody around him. And some of my favorite lines have been from him in those movies because he has some of the funniest lines, and. So like in there's a line in the Rise of Skywalker. He goes, "I forgot to tell you," and then something happens and everyone gets interrupted with what they're saying or they're doing, and he never finishes that sentence. You're like, well, what were you gonna tell her, dude? What was happening? So
how Palpatine returned. That's what he was going to say.
Well, I know it was recently posted, like in the last week, even in light of the new movies coming out. That potentially he might be in them, and that we might see what he was referring to in that part of the movie, because it was mentioned one time in the movie and was not brought up again throughout the rest of the movie. So he was basically saying, "I got something to tell you. I need you to know." This is important. And then, they were like in like a the sinking field is I think what they called it. It was basically like quicksand, but it wasn't quicksand. And they thought they were all going to die. So he said, I need to tell you this thing that I needed to tell you. And as he was trying to tell her, they all fell through, and they all survived it. But yeah, so apparently they're gonna like. What he was going to tell her was that he is also force sensitive and that he's going to go into training to become a Jedi. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true. I hope that's true because we do see him use a lightsaber in one of the movies.
I was going to say there is that's kind of a retcon because there's the scene where he temporarily uses a lightsaber, not particularly well, but the fact that he can control it at all is supposed to be
the fact that he was able to do a force pull and grab it. Says something about his force abilities, you know? And I don't know. I'm turning the volume up a little bit. That's better. So yeah, it's just, I'm looking forward to the next set of movies. I don't care if we see any more of Luke, although I have also seen other people saying that Sebastian Stan
should play Luke,
should play a younger version of Luke. And in like, at the very least, have him play that character in the next season of Ahsoka or any other Star Wars content that happens in that time frame and on that timeline.
I would love to see Luke, like the saga of Luke, of stuff he did between Jedi and
Force Awakens.
That's what I'm
thinking. That I would love for them to do that and have Sebastian be the young Luke.
Yeah, and don't try and digitally alter him to have Mark Hamill's face. Just go with it.
Just go with what he's
close enough.
He already looks like he could be like one of Mark's kids. you know?